What if I told you there was a way to never struggle with mid-ladder again? This deck has proven to be successful from 0 to 9,000 trophies. Actually, I'm at 100 trophies and this deck doesn't do shit. Well, okay, sorry, family friendly. But this deck, good in every league in the Path of Legends, good in mid-ladder. It does not matter what you're facing, you're going to dominate with this deck. And if you, by chance, I'm going to avoid saying perchance, I don't feel like that's a word that we should be using. You can dominate with this deck, even with replacement cards such as the Mighty Miner and things like the Knight, even though the Knight will be substantially worse, and I don't recommend doing that to yourself. Just don't do that to yourself. But you are going to see success, especially trying max Goblin Stein. If you don't have it, try out the Mighty Miner or the Knight. You should definitely have been working towards one of those champions. If you're not, that's fine. I'll go over different games with the other cards. But bro, this is nasty work. I'm telling you what, bro. This deck is no joke. And so many people have complained about losing to this deck because, like, frankly, it's ridiculous. I'm also playing with a couple underleveled cards. It's not that big of a deal. You probably can't push up with level 12s. I don't want to see anybody in the comments talking about my Lisp, and 2, actually I have a level, this deck doesn't work for me. And then the follow-up question, what's your card level? I'm playing with level 11. Okay. You're probably going to need full 14 or 15 to make this deck work, so don't be expecting miracles, and you're definitely also going to need to practice a little bit, but that's the case with the majority of decks in this game. You definitely do need to practice before expecting to get crazy results out of it. I mean, that's the same for almost everything except, like, maybe recruits, so, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Goblin Stein didn't die, but I'll take it. We'll take this ability. And you can see right now why we want to be using Goblin Stein is just because of the crazy value that the ability will get you literally every single time you use it. And oh, the firecracker. Oh my gosh. Bandit, stop! Okay. So look, let's be real. We're down a little bit of damage. It's not going to matter. Okay, we're no longer down a little bit of damage. The Goblin Stein is really, really good because a lot of people that play Firecracker kind of just don't get good value out of the Firecracker. It's not necessarily their fault. When you only have like one range targeting unit that's like taking up your opponent's entire focus, you're not really going to see good results. Item washed. You're not really going to see good results because people will just prioritize killing it. But if you have 2 of them, now people have to worry about the Goblin Stein and the Firecracker. And the Cannon Evolution, probably one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game. So much value, even though it's getting nerfed. It's as long as they don't make it die to, or what am I trying to say here? As long as they don't make it get one, or like take 2 shots to kill goblins, it should be perfectly fine. And the cannon should be something you're focusing on. Firecracker definitely important as well. We go with another EQ here. I'm being careful not to get like 3 crown, but like mid-ladder decks, just light work. Hopefully you face something a little bit more difficult. So I'm recording. Ooh, this is a fun matchup. I'm recording on Trophy Road right now. I never play on this account, and I kind of just want to try it out because I want to see if I can face decks that are more relatable to you. Because, to be honest, this being a like mid-ladder focused video, even though we might not face the most mid-laddery decks, hopefully we can face something like along the lines of mid-ladder. And as you can see right there, that is why you want to level up the Goblin Stein. Even though it's gotten nerfed so many times, it's still a great card. And right there, we're able to get so much value out of our Firecracker because of the fact that he has to worry about the Goblin Stein. That's literally it. So we go Goblin Stein here. It's probably a crappy Goblin Stein. I was just trying to distract for a second. Could have definitely played that better. But as you can see, we're still going to be up in damage here. And we're going to have our opponent dealing with a little bit of a counter push. I'd say this guy classifies as mid-ladder. You know, I'd say it. But in case you guys can't, like, gain knowledge from this video, feel free to go to the comments, ask me anything you want. Why are we running Hog Rider Lava? Feel free to ask me literally anything you want, bro, about, this deck, or about, like, anything, just anything. Like, I don't know, life advice. I'm probably not the best person to, like, give you, like, relationship advice, but anything, bro, just let me know in the comments. I'll be able to help you guys out, especially because I think finding the right deck that you need to play or want to play when you're trying to explore your Clash Royale journey and you're going through Trophy Road and all that stuff is so important. If you get stuck with the wrong deck and level up the wrong things, you're just absolutely beyond cooked, bro. It's just, it is what it is. There's no recovering from it. So I think what we'll do here is actually go with the Evo Cannon. I understand we wouldn't pull the lava here, but I'm not really trying to. I'm just trying to cycle here. I think he'll probably spell this down a little bit again. And then, I mean, we could just probably hit this ability before he spells me to death. And then we can go with the firecracker here. Pretty simple. Let's go Ice Spirit as well. Kind of kill everything here. Go with the Hog Rider before he's back to a good counter for it. I think we drop a log down the middle here too, because this princess is going to get pesky. We might be able to get a nice firecracker value as well. So, yeah, I mean, the problem is, I mean, when I record in Trophy Road, the opponents really stink. But a lot of the time, that's true for the guys you're facing too. But okay, I'm not trying to gloat, but I'm like a good Clash Royale player, right? So I'm gonna like have a good time against a lot of these players, whereas maybe if you're not as good, you would have a difficult time. You know, it's not a problem from your part per se. It's just how it works. Like, you know, you're facing somebody on your skill level or maybe a bit higher, but as you like progress, you can see how stupidly easy these matchups are. Like, of course, you're gonna face that one guy who has a billion Hog Rider counters every game, and hopefully I face one of those today. But you can outplay almost every deck in the game. So I'll play... Oh, I predicted him. So I think I'm going to play a game with this deck, and then I'm going to play a game with Mighty Miner, and then I'll play a game with the Knight. Just to show you the differences between the decks and give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what you should be expecting. By far and large, the Goblin Stein version is the best, and the worst version's the Knight by far, but you'll still be able to outplay a little bit with it. Just focus on working towards the Goblin Stein. And yeah, I mean, if you guys don't like me recording in Trophy Road, I only tried this out because it was a video on the mid-ladder deck. You can go ahead and let me know in the comments, bro. What is that? Oh my god. Yeah, just go ahead and let me know, though. I'm down to keep recording in Path of Legends. I probably still will for the most part of my videos, but you know, see, this is kind of the problem with recording in mid-lat. Like, what are we... Really? Like, deadass? Bro's embarrassing the Huzz. I might even cut this, bro. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna cut this. So we're switching to Mighty Miner, but I hope you guys can see the dilemma, because, like, I'm trying to play... in a mid-ladder video, I normally play in Path of Legend. I'm trying to show you guys decks that you would probably face. But at the same time, it feels like these guys really suck. But at the same time, these are the guys you guys are facing. So I don't really know what to say other than I feel like doing this video in like the top 1,000 would be kind of disingenuous. You know, let me know what your thoughts on that are. But as you can see, we're just going with some simple offense because he committed a lot to the back. So all we can do here is just kind of ignore his thing, not take a bunch of wizard damage. And then as you can see, we're going to go up in damage here. And you don't want to get too aggressive with the firecrackers. Absolutely not. Of course, I love taking my firecracker value when I can, but you don't want to give your opponent too much value. You always want to have your firecracker available, in my opinion. So we'll log back here, take one hit, that's all good. And then I'll capitalize on the pressure with this because I have Mighty Miner in my hand and we have a firecracker to counter push with. So now we could simply go with like a cannon here. And it's very nice as the E-barbs actually split up, but if they wouldn't have, I would have skellied here. And as you can see, that's kind of how you can play this deck. You can play it fairly aggressively, but you always want to do it when your opponent goes in for something heavy. And you don't want to commit a ton of elixir. As you can see, we only like went with the Hog Rider when we had that Hog Rider firecracker push. Like, it wasn't a massive push. And the Mighty Miner was a defensive card we played. We're not building up a big Hog Rider push or spending a ton of elixir on the Hog Rider push. We're playing defense, and then we're converting our defense to offense based on what our opponent plays here. So you can see, I'm going to let this wizard just go over here and just chill. But he's just going to kill the wizard. I'm not even going to pop the ability, I don't think. Actually, I might pop the ability here. The only reason I'm doing that is to get this Hog Rider in front of this firecracker for the counter push. I don't think he's... Okay, I thought the firecracker may have crept in front for a second there. We're going to kill this. As you can see, we're going to get back to Mighty Miner very quickly. You always want to abuse your 3-card cycle when you're playing with the champion. We go Mighty Miner up here. We can actually just swap some lanes real quick. Go with the Skellies. Go with the Evo Cannon. Should be able to hit everything back here, except the thing that we actually want to hit, which was the Queen. But that's okay. Whatever. I knew she wasn't going to do nothing. We could pre-log here, and that should be able to, in certain... Can I speak, dog? In certain circumstances, it is good to log, because you can be able to, like... push back or temporarily delay your opponents from going in with like getting an extra shot. Like, I don't know if it would have mattered, but that Valkyrie didn't get an extra shot because we went in with our log. and that might have been what let us take the tower. So Mighty Miner is another valid option. I still think Goblin Stein is easier to play, but the Mighty Miner is definitely a valid option as well. If you guys are really struggling with the funds and you can't get either champion, I don't blame you. It's kind of difficult to get champions, but you can go in with the Knight, and this will be substantially harder than any of the other versions, and by a long margin. Because one, you don't get 3-card cycle, that's 2. One, you don't get 3-card cycle. 2, the Knight is significantly worse than both of the other cards. But if you lock in and play like a goat, you can still win with it. So, we'll go log up here. I'm not... Okay, anyways, Ice Spirit. We're going to go in with the Knight up top. And then we can just go in with some Skellies, and that should be good enough to wrap that up. As you can see, we're having a bit of a struggle here, but I will go in with a counter push because, as you can see, we do have a Knight and some Skellies and a Firecracker available to counter push with. So this should be easily our damage back, if not a ton more. W low power mode. And then we can just practically go Cannon Ice Spirit. This should pull the Skelly Barrel, but even if it didn't, that would be fine. And we go with a log here. I understand that the log's not going to kill everything, but it doesn't need to. The Skellies don't get any damage there. So, as you can see, we're going to need to spend a lot more effort on our defense compared to playing Mighty Miner or especially Goblin Stein. You don't really need to focus on your defense. So, I'll go Skellies here. I'll get ready to go in with another Hog, but as you've seen, probably if you've been paying close attention, I never go Hog into an opponent that has a ton of Elixir. I'm always waiting for the right opportunity to actually go in with my Hog. So, I'm down to trade Firecracker shots here. It's something that most people don't expect, but I have an underleveled one, so it won't quite kill it. But we can go in with EQ log on the Mother Witch, so that's kind of fortunate. Actually, I have an underleveled EQ too, so I don't even know if this interaction works. But hey, let's try it out. We got Evo Cannon. We can go into the Knight here. We're going to keep the cannon alive so it pulls everything. And as you can see, the underlevels are really kicking our butt here. Not going to be able to kill this Mother Witch in time. But, I mean, we don't really want to feed the Mother Witch any crazy value. We're going to give her one Hoggy. That's all good. So as you can see, we're just, still not going in with Hog Rider. I don't want to give my opponent a counter push. That's the whole name of the game. If they get a big counter push, it's Jover for me. So I'm just playing slowly, waiting for a good opportunity to go in. Go Knight here. I see no reason not to take the CQ. Chip down this Firecracker so it'll die to a log here. Bro, just play your Mega Knight, bro. You know you want to. You know you want to. Come on now. Come on now, Poppy. Okay, so we didn't need that log, really, but I'll go in with the Firecracker here. I have a feeling he's about to play something at the bridge here. And then we could just go in with the, probably the Knight to protect this. And now you went with the Evo Mega Knight. Kind of sneak a Hog Rider in here while I'm playing defense. So that way he has to commit to the Hog Rider and play offense at the same time. As you can see, it's going to be way more difficult for him. And it's way easier for us to play defense while we have some pressure on the board so our opponent can't full commit. As you can see, I mean, usually people have Firecracker counters, but even so, even if my opponent had arrows or something to kill my Firecracker, it really is no big deal. We're still going to stomp in this guy regardless because I have such a fast cycle. And as you can see, that's going to be it. So, guys, GG's. Try out this deck, and especially this card, the Firecracker, in this deck if you want to have success anywhere on Clash Royale.